Back here at Wilton Mill, we are under red flag conditions for the X30 Junior A final after an incident on lap number 1 between Antonio Sofroniou, Louis Johnston and Ellis Bourchier. Sofroniou has just come over the line and has registered a lap time, so I would assume that means his kart is okay. But drivers just out of their karts at the moment. Now it remains to be seen whether the grid will be formed up as if it's a brand new race, which, judging by the fact that karts are being shifted around and reordered, I think may be the case. I guess the determination will be when the red flag from race control was declared, because the incident itself that caused it was definitely occurred on lap 1. Drivers had crossed the line for the end of lap 1, start of lap 2. Keep your comments coming in on the YouTube stream. Make sure you've subscribed to Alpha Live's YouTube channel as well for more streaming content, not only here at Wilton Mill Kart Club, but around the country as well. As I say, Teesside Autodrome have got their sprint series on today. You can go and check out. Also, on a Double Dash Motorsport media front, you can check out the British Universities Karting Championship, which will be down at Buckmore Park in about a week and a half's time, 4th of March. Howard Mitchell, the other half of Double Dash Motorsport Media, will be there alongside James Johnston for that day, with Alpha Live providing the stream for all the mains races on the 4th of March. And Howard himself will be back here for Wilton Mill Kart Club round number 3, 4th Sunday of the month. We will also be talking about today's action on the Double Dash Motorsport Media podcast. That will be a new episode coming out in, I'd imagine, the next week and a half. We put one up last night, which covered a whole variety of different things. So if you've got a bit of spare time, to check that out, mixcloud.com/Double Dash Motorsport Media, or you can go to our Facebook page at Double Dash Motorsport Media. Give that a like. Give us a follow as well on Twitter at Double Dash MM. So just to run through the grid again, in case we do go back to a brand new race, as if that first one never happened. Luke Watts, you can see him there in the red suit, the YRDA suit, with a yellow helmet with the black bands going round it. He would be your pole sitter again. Lucas Ellingham just stood to his right in the MS Karts blue and white suit there. He'd be alongside him on the front row. Those two really have pushed each other a lot so far today. Thomas Mills and Douglas Bolger would be your second row. Olivier Algieri and Jessica Edgar, row 3. Harvey Ribby, you can just see him there, keeping the legs nice and fresh in the white suit. Stretching out, he'll be on row 4 alongside Daniel Amazigo. And I've just seen the timing screen reset here in comms position. So yeah, I think this is going to be a brand new race as if the first one never happened. So Harvey Ribby and Daniel Amazigo, row 4. Kanato Lay and Robbie Stapleford, row 5. Samuel Shaw, who raced very impressively earlier on in the day. He's going to be starting on row 6 alongside Christian Brooks, who you can see in the blue, white and yellow kart, helmet and suit overalls. Very nice combination there. Number 82, he's going to start from P12. Jack Plant and Alfie Baxter-Davies. Alfie Baxter-Davies just behind there to the left of your screen at number 31. That was only number 52 wait to be at the back of the field. Just trying to see. Well, that's Jack Plant, who was meant to be starting P13. Is that trouble for Jack Plant there? Hopefully not. Carrying on with a rundown of this. Oh, what's happened there? That was a strange one. I was looking at the grid and half looked up and there was a kart flying off the circuit. I don't know if we've got a replay of that one to see what was going on there. And is that another person with some form of technical issue? But yeah, Jack Plant unfortunately does look out of this race. You can just see him there. We're just going to have a look at this again. Oh, maybe not quite. We are getting this grid back together. Watts and Ellingham, remember, on the front row. Mills and Bolger. So let's just have another look at this again. What happened here? I think it was at the 272 of Alex Doddington. Oh, yeah, I think it was. Just running off the circuit then. And I'm seeing red flag on our screen again. No, that's a yellow flag. No, I think we are good to go. We are good to go. That's just a little glitch on the timing screen. At my end, away we go then for the final. Attempt number 2, 10 minutes plus 1 lap for the X30 Junior runners. Luke Watts, good start. Gets the shot away from pole again. Thomas Mills has got through and into second place again. Here's where we had the contact, which resulted in the red flag first time around. This time, they're all through. They're all good to go. Down into Ashby Corner. Everyone's just trying to find some space. But it's Watts for Mills, Ellingham third. I think it's Algieri who's there in fourth place. They come down the back straight and into the boot for the first time in this final. Luke Watts right where he wants to be, in the lead from Thomas Mills. Luke Watts looking to make it 2 final victories in a row. It wasn't the 272 of Alex Doddington who went off on the form. I think it might have been Ben Follen. But down the inside, here comes Ellingham going for second place, trying to take it back, and he does so. So Ellingham back into second place, ahead of Thomas Mills. Lorenzo Cordell's had a brilliant start, by the way, up 5 positions into 9th place there on lap number 1. Jude Fernerhoff is charging through as well, up to 14th from 18th on the grid. They're going to have to work very, very hard to break into the top 3 today with these 3 quality drivers up at the front of the field. But you never know. You never, ever know here at Wilson Mill Kart Club. Lucas Ellingham has a little look. In fact, a massive look, and takes the lead. Takes the lead away from Luke Watts on a run through Oblivion Corner. Thomas Mills also has a little look at the inside now, and Luke Watts is in trouble here because he's now being attacked by Olivier Algieri and Douglas Bolger. Douglas Bolger down the inside of Algieri. That's a nice move by Bolger. Yellow flag is out at the top of the hill. Somebody has had some form of incident, but Lucas Ellingham leads. And down the inside was that Algieri fighting back against Bolger. There's some debris in the circuit. I couldn't work out whether it was some bumper or whether it was some tape just slightly curled up there. But Lucas Ellingham will lead at the end of lap number 2 from Thomas Mills. Luke Watts still there third. Douglas Bolger now fourth. Jessica Edgar has got up into 5th. Olivier Algieri down to 6th, but Harvey Ribby's on the charge as well. Fastest lap of the race so far from Ribby. 46.91 is there in 7th place. Edgar down the inside. Sorry, that's Algieri going down the inside of Edgar. So Algieri back into 5th place. Will Harvey Ribby have a go now at Jessica Edgar for 6th place? And they're side by side, and Ribby has got through. Daniel Amazigo is on the scene as well. There in 8th place, and Amazigo has a look down the inside of Edgar. And this is proper sprint racing at the moment at the front of this X30 Junior field, because if you get offline, you lose 1 position, you may lose 2, you may lose 3, you may lose 4 the way this thing is running. Luke Watts has just set the fastest lap of the race as he rekindled that fight. We thought he had a problem, but he's looking good now. In fact, he's looking down the inside of Thomas Mills for 2nd place and gets 2nd place. So Luke Watts, winner of the final in round 1, not wanting to give this one up, gets back into 2nd place. What can he do, though, about Lucas Ellingham? Moves being done further down the field. Christian Brooks hasn't had a good start, but has at least got back into 19th place. He's just
got past Ben Jenkins. Joshua Vallance and Jensen Buckingham have also moved past Louis Johnston-Cool, who has got running again. As off is the 272. That is Alex Doddington. That is one of our runners from the B final. And is going to get going again. That BWT liveried machine. Antonio Sofroniou is not running in this one, unsurprisingly. And I'm not seeing Ellis Bourchier out there either. So just Louis Johnston-Cool, of the 3 drivers involved in the red flag causing incident, running still in this race. 5.5 minutes of this one to go. Lucas Ellingham still leads from Luke Watts. The pace between them is so close, matching each other's sector times around every inch of this circuit. And Thomas Mills still in there as well. Move for 8th place. Kanato Lay has got past Olivier Algieri. There he is, number 29, trying to now find his way past Daniel Amazigo. So Algieri unfortunately going back a little bit here. Alfie Baxter-Davies has made a move on Charlie Field. So Baxter-Davies is up to 16th place. Jack Plant has also got past Ben Folland for 29th. Keep an eye out though for Harvey Ribby, still going very nicely indeed. A 45.99 last time around for Ribby. He's looking fairly quick at the moment, especially if, again, these drivers at the front are very experienced. If they start to fight with one another, they could fall into the clutches there of that second trio on the road, Bolger, Edgar and Ribby, who they know they just need to keep eyes forward. They may even get a bit of help from behind as well if Kanato Lee can pull his way through. Watson Ellingham, though, they've raced each other many times before. They've been in this position before. They know what they need to do. Play the long game. They are starting to drop Thomas Mills, who similarly is being caught by Bolger, Ribby and Edgar. Ribby has actually moved past Edgar, so Ribby is up to 5th place. There is Harvey in the number 71. He's lost his fastest lap of the race, though. That's gone to Luke Watts, 45.93 for Watts, as he continues to press on the back of Lucas Ellingham in an encouraging fashion at this stage of this final. Through the boot then, here on lap number 9. Big lap coming in here. They've already put a second on Thomas Mills, make it 1.2 seconds. Douglas Bolger clips a couple of tenths out of the gap between himself and Mills. Harvey Ribby going with him as well. Still all to play for here in X30 Junior for round 2 of the Wilton Mill Kart Club Championships for 2020, sanctioned by Motorsport UK. There's that second trio we're talking about, looking quite quick at the moment. Bolger, Ribby and Edgar. Now, it depends, what do they do about Mills? Can they get by Mills and drive through him, or do they pick Mills up as a 4th engine to drive themselves along? Still a good number of laps in this one to go. The gap between the leaders is 0.31 of a second. The gap back to Mills is now 1.44, and Mills has been caught. Mills has been caught now by Bolger, Ribby and Edgar. I think the emphasis is probably on Bolger to decide and dictate how they deal with Thomas Mills, whether they use him as a bit of a helping hand and work together, or whether they make the move to try and get through and get up the road towards Watts and Ellingham, and the option is go through. So Bolger decides he does not want to even consider Thomas Mills' pace as part of their tactics. He's just gone through, and he's actually got a bit of a gap to Harvey Ribby. Did it in the boot. It's probably the area of the circuit best used to drivers trying to drive through and not be cut back. Jessica Edgar's having a go at Thomas Mills now as well. There's encouragement from the sidelines there for the drivers to push on now, because the gap between Watts and Bolger, second to third, is less than 2 seconds, with 60 seconds or just under 60 seconds plus 1 lap to go. So it's got to be a big couple of laps from Douglas Bolger if he wants to win this A final, or at least put himself in that position that if Ellingham and Watts start to fight on the last lap as Alex Doddington comes into the pit lane, that he's there to pick up any scraps from the table if the top two make any mistakes. Here are the top two. Lucas Ellingham checks over his shoulder, sees Luke Watts there. As Jessica Edgar goes down the inside of Thomas Mills. Decisive move there by Jessica Edgar. Through and into 6th place. Kanata Lay is not too far behind as well. Christian Brooks and Alfie Baxter-Davies have got past Charlie Field, by the way, for 16th and 17th places respectively. 10 seconds to go. This is the penultimate lap of the race. What are the gaps looking like? They're looking pretty even between the top three. Harvey Ribby's still a little bit quicker. Maybe a little bit too far back now to influence the top two positions. Last lap board out then. Last lap of the day here at Wilton Mill for round 2 of WMKC 2020. What can Luke Watts do? Round one, of course. He's taken heat wins today, took heat wins last time out as well. Lucas Ellingham has done heat wins at round 1 and round 2. He wants this first final victory of the year. In to the back straight for the final time. Can Lucas Ellingham hold on to this? He has a little look, sees where Watts is, doesn't have to go defensive, through the boot. And what a drive this has been from the driver in the number 99. Lucas Ellingham wins in X30 Junior. Hands aloft, he takes the win here at Wilton Mill for round 2 of the Wilton Mill Kart Club X30 Junior Championship. Luke Watts is a strong second. 3rd place for Douglas Bolger. 4th for Harvey Ribby. And there's more scraps up and down the field. This is all over about 17th place over start finish. But Harvey Ribby takes 4th. Jessica Edgar 5th. Thomas Mills 6th. Kanato Lee in 7th. Olivier Algieri in 8th. Robbie Stapleford 9th. Daniel Amazigo 10th. Samuel Shaw in 11th. Jude Fernerhoff 12th. Lorenzo Cordal 13th. Samuel Hawthorne 14th. Harry Junior Burgoyne in 15th. Alfie Baxter-Davies in 16th. Christian Brooks 17th. Alex Moody 18th. Sam Baker 19th. Charlie Field 20th. Ben Jenkins 21st. Jensen Buckingham 22nd. Joshua Valance 23rd. Jack Plant 24th. Alexander Johnston 25th. Now is a very happy Lucas Ellingham there.